Rivers United, Ikorodu City, and Enugu Rangers dropped crucial points on Sunday, tightening the Nigeria Premier Football League title race with 11 matches remaining. Rivers United were held 1-1 by Enyimba in Port Harcourt, staying fourth on 43 points despite having games in hand. Leaders Ikorodu City also settled for a 1-1 draw against Bayelsa United, maintaining a slim lead on 45 points. Rangers failed to score in a goalless outing at Katsina United, remaining second on 44 points. Nasarawa United capitalized, urging Bendel Insurance 1-0 to move level on points with Rangers. With fixtures ahead featuring top four clashes, the battle for the title and continental sports is set to intensify in the closing weeks. Gemideko, should we already give up on Remo Stars and say, look, go to the NNL and see how you can come back from there? Although some Nigerian fans do not want Remo Stars relegated, but to whom much is given, much is expected. They are the champions of the NPFL, but they are struggling right now in the league.
Okay, I think it goes beyond what we see, on the ice or what we see on pitch or on the field of play, because personally, I decided to do a proper review of their games, watch like the last five, and I would say for a fact that it goes beyond what they play on the field of play, because when you get to see them, it's not as if they are playing badly, really, really badly per se. It seems, in my time seeing the EPL, the NPFL, I've seen terrible teams, but this Remo Stars is not a terrible side. They are good at worst average, but where they are sitting on the log does not display what they have on the side. One. Number two, for me, like I said, I think it goes beyond what happens on the field of play. I feel there's a lot that that's going on behind the scene, and I'm trying to make a special research on at this point in time. I wouldn't want to delve deeply into that, but definitely there's a lot going on behind the scene. An average Nigerian NPFL fan would not want to see Remo Stars relegate, and I think it would be a record to see the last season's champions get relegated. For me, 11 games to go or thereabouts, I still feel more than 11 games to go. So I still feel that they are full of things that can be done right. I still feel they can avoid relegation. They just need to, start winning games, and that's it for me. A couple of things happened: the management issues. I talk about the stadium issues. They started the season in Abeokuta because they are almost under renovation. Apart from that, they came back, crowd trouble, how to go back, stay on ban and all. So for me, I think it has been a lot. They lost quality players, more than half of their first 11 more than half of their first team last season. And so the players they brought in, if you ask me, some of them are not really good enough. I would say that point blank. But at the same time, I still feel there is more to it. And a lot of people have said in quotes that the statement the chairman made a couple of weeks ago is one of the things that has affected them at this point. I do not know how best to say. I do not understand what is happening around there. But for me, I think they can actually still avoid relegation. They can actually still avoid relegation. They just need to get their acts together and play, just play beyond their abilities at this point in time. Because if you ask me, they have a squad that can actually beat relegation. They don't deserve to go to get relegated, and no average Nigerian NPFL fan to see them relegated. So that's just it from me. I believe they can actually still avoid relegation. It's not too late.
It's not too late. I've also got Robert Olimene, who joins us as well. Robert, this is a case of the first shall be the last shall be the first, from top to bottom. Remo Stars, champions of the NPFL, now they are bottom of the league, carrying the rest of the clubs on their shoulders. While Nasarawa United, who struggled last season, are also vying to win the NPFL, the drama of the league. But when we get to the continent, we get beaten black and blue. What's your take on that?
Okay, so I think this context of the first shall be the last shall be the first is just what is making it. It is quite sad. I got to hear what people had to say about Remo Stars. I think it is quite sad that the team that won the league in fine fashion last season.
The network is frozen. You want to jump on this one because Nasarawa United, it just shows you the inconsistency. In as much as we enjoy the fact that new teams are popping up, it shows there's a lot of inconsistency in the Nigeria Premier Football League, having different winners every season, going on the continent, and we get beaten black-blue. It just shows that we come back home, there's nothing new, that we're learning when it comes to playing continental football?
Yeah, basically, like we all know in the NPFL, the recycling of players as well is one of the same reasons why this happens. There's inconsistency because you cannot, no matter how good your team is, no matter how much you pay them in the league per se, you can't get to retain your players, and that's what will happen if you cannot retain your players. Others recruit and they get to topple you, and it happens back to back every season. And that's why we always talk about the quality of the league as well. It shows when we go on the continent how bad, how poor the league is. We need to call a spade and not something for just back inside. That's just utmost truth on that scene. So when you see a Nasarawa United side that narrowly avoided relegation are now in contention for the title, you begin to ask yourself questions. What happened last season? What are they doing right this season? And the likes of Monsters who were champions last season and they are almost relegated this season, you begin to ask yourself, what did they do right last season that they can't repeat this season? So this is what we are talking about when it comes to things like this as well. So for me, it is important for us to take note of the fact that, number one, the NPFL has its own inconsistencies, which we should also take note of. Talk about the rate at which players leave the NPFL, go to Europe or go to other African leagues where they feel they can earn more, which is one of our major challenges here as well. And I spoke with one of the coaches a couple of weeks ago, and he said, Oliji, let me not lie to you. We cannot pay what they are offering these players outside. So how do we come back to contest for this same title back to back, do better on the continent? So I think there's a lot when it comes about the players themselves, the management, the league management as well. What are they doing to make sure that those that are quality players, those that are in top or in the top 10 can still come back and still maintain such positions next time? What are the clubs doing themselves as well to maintain that their core players, at least the spine of their team, remains ahead of the following season? So these are questions we should ask ourselves as well. And the coaches themselves should ask themselves and the management of these teams. And that's what happens in the NPFL so far.
All right, a lot of drama right there in the NPFL league, and we just hope that things will turn around for some of these clubs, especially Kun Kalifatu who have been on a resurgency after that topsy-turvy affair. They had it posted on social media that they were withdrawing from the league. Now they are off the bottom of the table. They are 19th. They've substituted themselves with Remo Stars, who are now currently bottom of the NPFL.